Soul Space, it's Sheila Hill here, Monday night at 9, and I have an amazing topic to talk, well, I guess they're all amazing, but I have an amazing topic to talk to you about tonight, and it's all about leaving the wounded masculine and feminine energies and shifting into living in the divine masculine and feminine energies. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes to hop on. I may have come on a little bit early, I'm not sure. I have to kind of make this quick this evening. But as you come on, then please just kind of post hi in the comments so that I know that you're here. And then I'm going to get started, and perhaps you'll be watching this on the replay, which is absolutely fine too. And when you watch on the replay, if you have questions or comments or things that you want to add, I still, we keep the conversation going after the live is done sort of thing. So even if it's tomorrow, that's fine. So as I say, excuse me, as you come on, just say hello or something in the comments so that I know who's here. And I think we'll just get started. So as I said, tonight's topic is all about leaving the wounded energies and shifting into the divine feminine and the divine masculine energies. So, excuse me. So to give you some clarity on what the wounded masculine and feminines look like, I just want to be clear with you, or set the foundation on this talk, that all living things have both masculine and feminine energies. So women have masculine and feminine, plants, trees have masculine and feminine. Men, even though they are in their masculine human form, still have feminine energies. And it's all about bringing those energies into balance. And when there's woundedness, which usually is rooted most often in childhood trauma, then it becomes that the human then exhibits itself through the ego of the wounded masculine or the wounded feminine. And for those of us that are running our own businesses, this is going to be hopefully, it was for me when I went, oh my God, I totally get it now, a game changer. Excuse me, my bottle of water is on the other side of the room tonight, of course. So let's look at what the wounded masculine, how the wounded masculine energy exhibits itself. The wounded masculine is that real push energy. It's the have to work hard, have to work long, I'm not enough, have to work hard. It's the ego mentality. It's the old school salesy, like used car sales, cold calls, door knocking, often turns into manipulation of some kind of either the people around them or their clients themselves, depending on where it's being exhibited. So the divine masculine is sort of like, the wounded masculine is sort of like that bull in a china shop. The hard sales. I just have to keep pushing. Excuse me. Now the wounded feminine energy is the people-pleasing doormat energy. The wounded feminine energy feels that she has to give in order to receive, and often overgives in order to receive. She is the people pleaser. She feels powerless in nature and is completely misaligned with her own divinity and her own round and round not coming through. Sorry, I'm just reading a comment. That's your internet connection, Linda. I'm not going around and around. So anyway, the wounded feminine is the people pleaser, the doormat, the one that feels that she has to give in order to receive anything. Barb, I see that you're watching. Can you just throw a like or something across the screen just so that I do know for sure that this is being broadcast properly? It all looks clean at my end. Or just someone, if anyone can see me, please throw a like or something across the page so that I know. Well, it's being recorded at my end. Oh, good. All good here. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Barbara. So the wounded feminine, I'm going to say this now for I think the third time, is the people pleaser. She's the doormat. She feels powerless in nature. She believes that she needs to give in order to receive. So what happens is the wounded feminine and the wounded masculine energies end up doing this incredibly self-defeating dance, if you would say. One usually doesn't show up without the other. So, and when I learned about this, I'm like, oh my God, there's been times where that has been me. I think I'm getting closer to living in the divine feminine, which I'm going to explain. But that's definitely the dance between the wounded masculine and the wounded feminine is absolutely something that I know that I've done, particularly in my business. So the wounded feminine is the people pleaser, and she over-delivers, and she wants everyone to like her and seeks validation from others in that people-pleasing type of way until that, I mean, that's just self-fulfilling, that you don't actually receive the validation that you think that you're looking for by doing it that way, because that validation and love comes from within. So then there's a frustration that kicks in where the wounded feminine then flips into the wounded masculine and does that, well, I'm going to just take charge and I'm going to push and I'm just going to do more posts and I'm going to call more people and I'm going to just email everybody on my email list and I'm going to push, because there's that sense of not enoughness that I'm really sorry about my throat tonight, that if you push harder, like you ask, please, can I have? And that doesn't work. So then you push and then you move into the wounded masculine where you're pushing and pushing and pushing all the time to the point where, and I've never done this, where you actually can shift into manipulation. So the two sort of, and particularly for entrepreneurs who sort of sometimes can fall out of alignment and be manifesting their business through the space of lack and fear, then you end up with this wounded feminine and wounded masculine doing this dance. So that's what the two look like. So now I want to explain to you what the divine feminine looks like. So the divine feminine is a state of being. It's a state of knowing that all is well. She lives in inner peace. She's divinely aligned. She loves and honors herself, her physical vessel, her soul, very, very just at peace. And that knows that the peace is found within her, not in her surroundings, and that her worthiness is not measured based on anything at all that's outside of her. So that divine feminine just sits in that place of knowing, loving, and honoring herself, honoring the process. And that is where she begins to receive downloads of inspiration from her guides, from God, from Source, and from within. When you're sitting in that quiet place of worthiness, that I don't have to be a people pleaser, I don't have to over-deliver, I don't have to push, I don't have to work hard in order to receive what is divinely already aligned to be mine anyway, right? Because it's all in creation. Everything we want is always just this close to being manifested into form. So she is able to sit in that posture of the being, the knowing, the inner peace, the sense of deep worthiness and self-love. And that is what brings these beautiful downloads to her, the inspiration of here are the instruction manual. Here's the manifesto on how to manifesto what it is that you want to bring into your life. It's quite simple. But when you're in that wounded space of the wounded masculine and the wounded feminine, you're all up here in your ego with all the stories and the trauma and the not enoughness and the lack of worthiness and the money lack and scarcity and all those stories running, that you aren't able to receive those downloads or feel divinely aligned with your inner light and your guides. So that's where the divine feminine sits. What then happens is the divine masculine is then aligned with the divine feminine, and we'll call it he. He takes inspired action based on the downloads that the divine feminine received. So The masculine in the divine is the doer. The feminine in the divine is the receiver. She holds space for herself, for her business, for her life, in that place of being, knowing, and being divinely aligned, and allows the downloads to come in. And then when it's time to take inspired action, not motivated action, not push action, not I have to do this action, but inspired action, the masculine, divine masculine energy comes in stronger, and the steps just flow. Here's the next event that I'm going to do for my business. Here's the next product I'm going to launch. Here's the next blog I'm going to write, because it's all coming through inspiration. It's all divinely being downloaded to you anyway, whether you think that you are a channel or not, because you all are. That is how the ideas are received. So if you find yourself in life, or particularly in business, just because this is where it really sort of came in for me, in that space where you feel like, I've just tried every damn thing and I can't get my business off the ground, or, I contacted 15 people this week and I only heard back from one. Like, if you find that you're in that space, or that you are not being met in the vibration in which you operate in your business, and I'm going to talk about money just a little bit before we call it quits for tonight. If you find yourself in that push energy, in that where you're sitting back at the end of the day, or partway through a day and going, oh my God, running my own business is hard. It shouldn't be hard. You should be in flow. You should be in play. You should be in divine creation as a co-creator with the universe. And the only way to be in that space is to sit in the being of the divine feminine. So, happy to talk more about that if that's what the group wants. If we want to do an event maybe where we talk in more depth about it, but I wanted to give you sort of that glossary aha that maybe you can reflect on parts of your life or parts of your business or your upcoming businesses where you're like, I don't know why this just doesn't seem to be working, and that you bring awareness to it, that where are you operating from? Are you operating from the wounded masculine? Are you over-delivering from a sense of lack of worthiness through the wounded feminine? Because if you're in the divine, you will actually be sitting in that space. Okay, Linda, I'll put something together. If you're sitting in that divine space, the divine aligned space, which you know what you got to do for that. That's self-love, right? That's meditation practice. That's being, not doing, but being in your most divine essence, is being in that divine feminine. And that's when the downloads happen, and that's where the inspiration comes from. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about just quickly, because I have sort of talked a little bit more tonight about entrepreneurs, and although this applies to everyone, I don't usually sort of give a tap to any one particular demographic, but I knew that that for entrepreneurs this would be an important live for them to watch. So I want to talk about money just quickly. As you love your business, which entrepreneurs do, I mean, that's why we're entrepreneurs. We're moving from that heart-centered space that we love our product and or service so much, that's why we do what we do. So when you are in that heart-centered space, whether it's a product or a service, whatever it is that you are providing, you are doing it from the space of love, in the love vibration. So if you run a tutoring company, then you love your clientele, your students. You want them to do well. I obviously love my clients. I want them to heal and live their biggest, best life possible. So everything that I do in my business is from the vibration of love. I hold space for you when you don't love yourself, and I love you through whatever it is you're going through. So when it comes to money, in the very 3D sense, and the old programming that we were all brought up with, there's all kinds of guck stuck to money. Money is the root of all evil. There's not enough of it. There's poverty and scarcity and lack and evil attached to it, and only the rich ego bad people can have money and the good people don't. Like, there's all kinds of stories around money, and it's all made up. It's all perception. None of that is real. Money is, my guides were talking to me today about alchemy, which I just found the whole download really fascinating. That, as I said before, anything that we desire, not want or need, anything we desire because we are divinely allowed and worthy to have whatever we want, is that close to being manifested into fruition for us when we're in our divine essence. Money is love. Money is the alchemized, I'm not going to be able to get that word right. When you use alchemy, the alchemized version of energy, source, pure source, God, love, energy is alchemized into form, into whatever you want it to be. But its vibration is love. Money is love. Food is love. Shelter is love. The trip you want to go on is love. The car you want to go on is love. You get yourself into that love vibration, and you are going to be a power manifester, because you will be able to alchemize, if that's even a word, but you know I'm talking about alchemy. You'll be able to alchemize all of your love vibration into whatever it is you desire it to be formed into in creation. Like, that's powerful. That's super powerful. That's not making vision boards, and that's not praying at night going, please send me another client. That is what all you have to do. It's simple, but it's not easy. I understand that. And that's another new phrase that I've been applying all over the place lately, is life can be this simple. It's just not always easy to get there. So when you understand that being in the divine feminine, all that means is you love you love the piece of God, source, universe, the divine that lives inside of you. You heal your inner child. You honor yourself first and foremost always. You live in that divine feminine space. And I am guaranteeing you that you will be in the love vibration, that whatever you want to convert that love into, a spouse, money, cars, trips, whatever, you can make that happen, because you will be living in a divinely inspired life. We were never meant to live in separation. We were never meant to be here on earth and live in fear. None of that was supposed to be. That was an ego creation that just went rampant. And when you can bring your ego mind and your soul's essence into alignment and carry the vibration of love, you will be, I know this sounds a little corny, experiencing heaven on earth. And that is what I want for each of you. This was a super, super powerful Facebook Live. I hope that those that didn't get to see it tonight will watch it on the replay. Linda, I will take your nod and come up with an event of some kind to talk more about how to move in out of the wounded energies into the divine, because that is the key. It may take some steps and healings and things to get us there, but absolutely being in the divine feminine and masculine energies is where it's at. So, a couple of minutes to answer questions. Does anybody have any questions? Anything that they want to add? I'll just talk briefly about Wednesday. Excuse me. So I have put a post together. It'll come out Wednesday morning. So Wednesday is the full moon, supermoon, blue moon, lunar eclipse. We have not seen this type of cosmic event in 150 years. It is amazing. The other really cool thing about the fact that it is an incredible cosmic event for us to be able to witness and be a part of the energies that go with it is that it's also occurring at 11 degrees in the sign of Leo in a year, 2018, which is actually an 11 year. So it's opening an 1111 manifestation porthole. we will be able to ride out these Leo energies for 6 months. For 6 months, we will be encouraged, bathed in all of the passion, love, creativity, and play energies. Think sacral chakra. So think sacral chakra. Bring play and creativity into absolutely everything you do, and you will find magic. And that is where the energies are going to be for us for the next 6 months. It's like winning the friggin' energy lottery. So what a great time to heal from our wounds, move into the divine feminine and masculine, and really take advantage of our ability to manifest all that we would ever want in all creation. Hi, Kellyanne. You're going to have to backtrack now. We're almost finished and watch the replay, but please do. I know as a business owner that in particular for you, this will be a huge aha. So those that are joining me on Wednesday night, I can't wait to see you. Those that aren't, please read the post that's coming out in the group. Think about how you want to infuse your day-to-day, minute-to-minute with the play, fun, joy, love, passion energy. Everything that you do. And it doesn't even, like, if you're trying to manifest like a new business idea or something, then, you know, play with your food. Move your furniture around in your house. Dance. Do stuff that keeps you in that vibration of play and creativity, and you will find that the inspired ideas will come. I'm glad you enjoyed your numerology report. I worked on them all day today. I think I had about 18 of them that I did today. So it's really, really cool information. Okay, I am going to call this live the quits for tonight. Please feel free to keep the comments going if you have any other questions. I will look into putting together an event that talks more about this specifically for people that are entrepreneurs, want to be entrepreneurs, and are looking for some kind of creative way to change up their life a little bit by moving more into the divine and walking less in the wounded. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for sharing, holding space, and learning and growing with us here in the Soul Space community. Feel free to invite your friends. Feel free to contact me with ideas for future lives. If you've got something you want me to talk about, absolutely, please bring it to my attention. I'm very easy to get in touch with. Book a one-on-one session. Let's really get down to the nitty-gritty of what's going on with you. The coaching, the energy work, and or hypnotherapy, if we deem that appropriate, is all a part of working with me in a one-on-one. Almost every time, I've shifted myself vibrationally and received my own downloads that when I do coaching, the energy work is happening at the same time. Just because I'm sort of communicating on all levels when I'm engaging with you. And it just means that you're getting not just the ego coaching, the reframing and the understanding, but you're also getting the emotional purging, healing, and realignments at the same time. So I'm going to stop blabbering. I've had a super duper high vibe day, in case you haven't noticed. I'm like, and I better go and calm myself down. Love to you all. Good night.